When you were talking about the stained glass, I was kind of thinking about how there was a trend of, I guess, Hollywood movies. I saw some people ranted about how every Hollywood movie looked like they had like a blue orange filter or a teal orange filter or something. But I haven't really looked that
Yeah.
deeply into it. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. They had to do a lot of weird things because of the technology of the cameras, not necessarily
Yeah.
because of the quality or the picture quality. So, like I saw like a YouTube short of this girl uh, doing like a side by side comparison of like what we expect of a color Hollywood black and white film of like the
Mm-hmm.
makeup, but then of what they actually put on. And like they're using like blue lipstick, blue mascara, blue eyeliner because that's what picked up on the film. So yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
and also
I was thinking, uh-huh. And also,
uh Mary Poppins, I know. I also saw this interesting video. Is the VFX channel? I stumbled on it where it's you know how we have green screens today. They actually
yeah.
used yellow screen.
Oh.
They like used a special cube of like yellow sulfur composite or something, and so it was able for them to superimpose images on top of each other, like back in the 50s and 60s. And they're like,
Mm.
and they lost the technology and never used it again. Like they started doing all live action stuff. So the VFX team they were able to kind of recreate the technology and use it, and so it was kind of an interesting thing. So
Yellow. What were they using the yellow screen for?
oh, it was
Mary Poppins? You said
yeah, it
Mary
was Mary
Poppins.
Poppins. Let me see if I can find the YouTube channel.
Because I think, at least in my experience doing art, there are a lot of different colored screens. Okay, not a lot, but like there's blue. You can use blue or green or maroon, I think. Maroon. But and I guess it depends on which color you use. It
Yeah,
depends on the no, the way I use it is like which one isolates all the colors that I need in this artwork the best. Yeah,
yeah.
kind of the metric. Yeah.
Here, I'll post this in chat.
Mm.
So, cause I just found it. Yeah, I've
Oh,
dabbled with green screens a little bit, but I don't have the space to use it effectively, so I kind of gave up on it.
alternate to more common blue screen. Okay.
Do 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 do. I have posted it in chat. The Corridor
Let me.
Crew. Yeah, they're like a special VFX.
I've seen. I remember when they were kind of rising their YouTube channel. I
Yeah.
watched some of their videos. Like I enjoyed. I really enjoyed the reaction videos they did. Like I just like listening to industry people, like doing like level 5
Mm-hmm.
technical nitpicking. Yeah, I was in that phase when I was watching their video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I get a lot of industry friends. They're like, after working in this industry, I just don't enjoy. There's not a lot of entertainment they enjoy anymore because their brain just can't stop working. They're like, they look at this movie and they start going into that technical brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they start nitpicking like, oh, they didn't do this perfectly, and I can see it. That kind of brain. Yeah,
No, that's got to be
yeah,
fascinating. That's got to be
yeah.
fascinating to be able to do that. But then again, I'm like that with the food industry, because I've
Mm.
worked so many different jobs. I can nitpick how other jobs work. Just
Yeah,
just part of what happened at my job now is because like I was able to compare and contrast to be like this system sucks. And they're like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, so yeah, I stepped down. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
What's going on with Draco? You always come in here and you don't say anything.
He's just
Yeah.
vibing with the times.
Like being the ice in our walls or something.
He's going to he's going to steal our secrets and send them to the world. Make sure that they
Uh,
please do.
I am.
I really need to.
Oh, yeah, didn't you say you were gonna do a stack up or something? I remember you shared some of the like the
Stack up.
posters. Yeah. Was it for? Wait, is it called stack up? No. It's stack. I forgot what's that website that everyone is using. It's like to write stuff on. Is this
Oh,
stack up?
Substack.
Oh, yeah, Substack, yes.
Substack.
Substack. My bad. Yeah, the Substack.
Nah,
Are you?
I never wrote a single thing.
Yeah.
I have drafts saved up, but I never really published any.
Why not? You can't figure out the perfect algorithm?
Nah,
No.
it's a pattern. I've got a couple YouTube channels
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
I have videos edited and ready. Never published it. So
No. Is it like fatal perfectionism that's preventing you from publishing anything? Is that it?
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. I don't know. It's many things. I kind of lose steam when I get to that point. And then I'm off doing something else.
Oof. Oof.
I guess that is like the ADHD problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, part of the reasons why like my video like I don't try to like improve my videos that much or that often where it's like I can get sucked into like perfectionism
Mm.
and just be like it's too much. I have to stop. Like if it doesn't come out perfect, like I won't want to start it. So I just kind
Yeah.
of did a middle ground where it's like it's better if it's ugly than not having been done at all. So that's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
why I just let my videos be the way that they are. So if I worry about too much on the details of like I have to have all the perfect training,
Yeah.
I'll just never get it
No,
done.
this is why the most relatable artist is the self-hating artist. They make something and they hate it. You know, they
Yeah.
they express how much they hate it, and then everyone else is like, yeah, analyzing the artist and the art. I'm like, what? This looks amazing, but then the meta of being a self-hating artist. Yeah, they go into all that. It's like this is genius. This is genius.
Oh.
Oh, do you know like Chainsaw Man? Have you any of you guys
I've heard of Chainsaw
watch
Man.
or read? So like the guy that made Chainsaw Man, he's a bit of a interesting character.
Yeah.
Like recently, I got Liquid to watch Look Back, which is also the author of Chainsaw Man also made Look Back, and then I picked up some of his lore on Twitter. I saw him talk about like he's so what was it? It's like he cared so much about art that like apparently in high school he made a promise to himself that if he didn't get really good at it, he would kill everyone in his class or something. Like he had those kind of extreme thoughts about, I guess, succeeding at art. Yeah. And then I saw people talk about how the guy that made I think was it the opening song of Chainsaw Man? He's like really a multi-talented guy. Like he made the music, he sang in his own he sang, performed, made the music video for Chainsaw Man. And then this Chainsaw Man author has a lot of mixed feelings about this guy because like that guy is a big fan of his work. But then he's over there like, oh, I hate this guy. He's good at everything. It's so unfair. I'm only good at one thing and he can animate, draw, sing, perform, and he has charisma. I hate this guy. Yeah, I saw people talk about that, like, which is quite amusing. Yeah, and I relate to that. I relate to some extent. It's like you're so amazing. I hate you, but I still respect you. I hate you and respect you. Yeah, that energy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. That energy.
Grudging
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah. Grudgingly.
Like reluctant respect.
Yeah. And I think in Look Back, he also explores this. I think this emotional. I guess he explores this emotional tug of war inside of himself with two girls, like in a high school setting. One girl that started drawing for the praise, like she really enjoyed the praise, and then she was publishing a comic weekly in her school's newspaper or something. And then she was really proud of herself, like when everyone would be like, oh, great job, this week's comic strip was really good. And then one day she saw someone else's work published beside hers, and the technical skills was like so much better than hers. Like she was good at narrative stuff,
yeah.
and then her rival was good at like drawing backgrounds, like really high technical skill. And then she looked at that and was like, my position is being threatened, that kind of reaction. And then she started putting herself into the grind to try and improve her technical skill. Yeah. Until she met the artist. Turns out she's like a shut in, never left the house. And she felt so, when she met her reluctantly,
Oh.
she found out that girl is a big fan of her work. Yeah. Yeah. Found out. Big fan of her work.
That's hilarious. The self-hating artist trope strikes again.
Yeah.
Have you drawn anything recently?
Nah, just work
Just
work
work?
stuff. Yeah, my backlog I've been trying to clear since last year. I'm really slogging through it. Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm really slogging through it.
Where do you work now? Are you still at the school, if I remember right?
The daycare cram
Yeah.
school.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
the
good.
daycare.
That's good. Is it working out well?
It's been
It's been.
it's been it's been dot. Yeah, it's better. I think working for an honest small business is definitely way better than working in corpo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I have some criticisms, I have some gripes with how they run things, but I can acknowledge that this is kind of as best as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the kind of people that are running it. Yeah, like I've told you, the ESFJ principal, kind of like the good cop. The ESTJ vice principal is kind of like the bad cop. Like they're
Yeah.
both working together, yeah, to run this place. Yeah, and I have some appreciation for the way they run things.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if there are some things I kind of nitpick a little bit. Yeah.
If you had to run a school, what would you do? Oh, I'm sorry, Liquid. Did you want to?
I guess I was just gonna summarize. I guess my impression of like the school, the daycare.
Yeah, I
is
tell Liquid about a lot of like the slice of life.
is
Yeah,
that
slice of life story.
they
Yeah.
have had. So if you've noticed, the two types you mentioned to run it both have one of them has SI hero, the other one has SI parent,
Mm-hmm.
and what has happened, my interpretation is what has happened is they have adopted really good SI routines in the way they operate that business. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
very adaptive, it accommodates, it's fairly effective. But the problem is they don't. It's like she talks to me about some of the things that she would nitpick, and they're almost invariably things that could be minimized or even solved by even a level 5 mindset, like
Yeah.
like just like critical thinking, right? It's like you said that this was your goal, you said that this is what you're trying to accomplish, but then but now you're reinstituting your old program, your old SI wiring routine, and it's crunching your stated purpose. It's like this is what we want to do, this is where like, these are the results we want to see, and then they take their old like bureaucracy and go stamp, and then she's like, hold on, wait, like we got to ad lib here. If this is what you want, we can't do the old things to get new results, so we need to think like level 5 this, right? But
Yeah.
then they won't, they level 4 it again, snap, level 4 it again, snap, and then she's just like,
Yeah, at
you know,
first it was quite frustrating. Yeah, at first. Yeah. Guess when I was how should I say it? I noticed now, I guess now at least it's been half a year since I'm at this job. I noticed now that the role I'm doing is how do I it's kind of a this generalist role I'm doing. Like they prefer to hire in-house, like what I call in-house people. Like my principal has a preference for hiring her former students, means students she that went to her daycare, and then she's a lot nicer on them. But then like when I got hired at the time, I think probably she didn't have any former students she could call in. So it was like completely fresh new hires, like the entire batch when I came in. And I definitely noticed they were, I mean, naturally, kind of obviously, they would be a lot harsher, with, people that they are completely unfamiliar with. Yeah. So I think at the beginning, it felt they were much more, hmm, much more, yeah, much more harsher on you if you don't follow instruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more harsher. Let me
Interesting.
think. How do I talk about this? Like I've been telling Luke about how I think the FE soup of the world is kind of like a weird mix of autism and vibes, right? And then everyone just trying to parse out. The autistic people are like nitpicking trying to be super autistic about it. And then the
it's
YB
like
people are trying to be really, like the different extremes, like the emotional and the yeah, and the
the analytical.
analytical, and it's kind of like a weird mix of both a lot of the time. Yeah.
I mean that's a good balance though, isn't it? Like you kind of want a little bit of both.
Okay. I think the example I'm thinking of is like at first they told me when I just came in, my vice principal was like, "Do not befriend the kids. They are goals." He literally calls them goals, like little goals.
Wow.
Yeah. But then
Wow.
eventually, I'm not sure if it's because I worked there, like that they kind of changed up their instructions a little. I don't know. Maybe it's because I started working there, but eventually the instruction became, okay, you can befriend the kids, but not at first. Maybe give it some time and get to
And
know the
that's what
kids.
I
I'm
mean.
like, okay, that's very different from what they told me last year.
They can so it's like
Yeah,
once they receive like a positive like SI
yeah,
experience with the
hmm
methodology, they can incorporate it into their practice, but they
yeah,
can't think outside of the box of whatever they feel is a routine that is working. You see
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah,
she
yeah,
did
yeah,
that. She did her own thing. They kept telling her,
yeah,
"Don't befriend the kids." She did it anyways. It worked out
yeah,
well for her, and she was able
yeah.
to work better with them. And then they're just like, well, yes, we can do this now. It's like if you could like a level
Yeah,
5 to that before she got there, like that would
yeah,
have never been like you could have done that yourself. You could have generated that outcome like yourself. Right?
Yeah.
But
And
they don't.
then the common problem I was kind of running into, because yeah, it's, even though it's a small business, some parts of it still felt kind of corporatized. For example, the appeal, I guess the main selling point of this daycare is that they um it's supposed to be more education focused, but then it's kind of more community driven. So a lot of the time we can't afford to focus on the kids' individual needs. So they often emphasize that no, you can't do one to ones. Like they want you to multitask. Yeah. They want you to always be micromanaging the children, like prioritize the children that go home, gets picked up the soonest. So at first they say, okay, first come, first serve. Whoever pass up the homework, you check the homework. But no, actually, it's whoever gets picked up first by their parents. You need to check their homework. So I feel a bit bad for the kids that, they line up, they came first. But then, oh no, this kid goes back in an hour. I'm sorry, I gotta push you away. I gotta help this other kid first, like those kind of things you slowly figure out. Yeah. That I
Yeah.
had to slowly figure out on the job. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it seems it's a lot of moving parts. A lot of things to
Yeah, yeah.
consider all at once. So
And then there's also what is it, like legal, like accountability. It's not really entering the legal realm yet, but like something about trying, since it's a business and it's quite impossible to account for every factor, right? We still try to document everything. Like they really emphasize documenting things, like who says what, so that when something happens, they really emphasize having a defense, like using tools, like they emphasize using these tools to make sure, like if you want to completely cover our asses, you have to utilize our tools, Yeah. To Yeah, there's a lot of that I would.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go.
And I think
yeah.
like one of the things I found, I guess, to be like, pretty interesting, I guess, about their approach was the way they checked the homework. As like they, the one hand, okay, on the one hand they want the students, the teachers to multitask, to switch and not prioritize any student, right? And then they don't want the teacher to spend too much time helping one student. It's like, but some students struggle with different subjects of the homework more than others.
Okay,
But
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah. There's like a homework order. So the official list is that you should focus on Mandarin first. Mandarin,
Yeah.
I think Mandarin, the hard subjects. So the hard subjects being Mandarin, mathematics, yeah, Mandarin, mathematics, Malay, and then English, and then the art homework, and then the moral or art homework last. Um, but a lot of them, even though it's a Chinese majority daycare, honestly, and even though they go to Chinese school, a lot of them, their Chinese sucks. It really sucks. They can't do their own Chinese homework, and we have to spoon feed them a lot of the time. So, but then the instructions to the teachers is like, you you can't spoon feed them, but like no, the stripped down instruction is, if you're gonna spoon feed them, don't be obvious about it. But then they use a lot of the semantics of trying to convey that. It's very roundabout, right? Yeah. Don't give them answers. You gotta teach them. But then you have to prioritize
can't
the ones
teach
that go back first.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
can't teach them, like, you can't teach them too long, because then you're prioritizing one student and you're not
Yeah.
multitasking, right?
Yeah.
Being efficient. It's
Yeah.
like, but then if the student does their own homework, but autonomously, like the more autonomous,
Yeah.
like the more independent students, if they're like, okay, I can't handle the Malay this time, so I'll
Yeah.
go to the English. I'll do the
Yeah.
English, and then I can actually do the Mandarin. So I'll skip back around. They're like, no, 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 no. You need to do it in this
Yeah.
order, right?
No, that's only a problem if the parents ask. Like, let's say you've made that parent wait too long, and of course they're gonna think that, okay, what is it so difficult that they are still not done yet? But a lot of the time it's just we are trying to like the Spider-Man train meme. We are like trying to keep. There's a lot of leaks in the ship, and we are just like, okay, this leak is becoming bigger. Let's go cover that first. And then we kind of accidentally forgot some of these students. They are more autonomous. Accidentally made their parent wait a bit too long, and then when their parents start asking, no, they would hope, they would expect that their kid has done all their homework, but then it turns out they focus on all their easy homework, and the last thing they haven't done is the hard homework, you know. And then that's when like the principal and the vice principal will kind of hound them about why didn't you do the hard homework first? But they don't know how to do their hard homework, and all the teachers are occupied, right? And then maybe they just call on the vibes that, okay, the teachers are busy, I guess I'll just keep quiet, do my other homework. Yeah. And then I feel bad whenever the kid kind of gets yelled at for that, like, why didn't you do your hard homework first? But then all the teachers are busy.
And it's like none of them
Yeah.
can specialize, right? And
Yeah.
help like those weird cases because they
Yeah.
all have to, they all have to be
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. That's why some of the kids have started asking me, teacher, which homework should I do first? Because they're afraid, they get yelled at. Yeah. So, yeah,
Oy
a
vey.
lot of those things. Yeah.
Oy vey.
And I think this year a big incident, is it big? I guess it was pretty big if they had to look at the CCTV footage of me, being working. So there were two girls. Yeah, I think that was kind of exactly what happened. Which was two girls. They already have a track record of being a little, I guess, mischievous and rebellious. And if you weren't watching them like a hawk, they would just be hiding in the corner of the room doing their own thing,
Yeah.
not doing their homework. And then at the time, I was quite overwhelmed because it was Chinese New Year. A lot of our most reliable my most reliable coworkers weren't around. And then I had to check the homework and also teach the kids at the same time. But only the kids that were coming up to line up. So there are the kids that just play at the back of the class. And then when the parent came to pick her up, of course they were like, huh? She didn't get anything done? And then, of course, immediately my VP just went into defense mode, right? And tried to pin it on the child. Yell at the child for not, why didn't you? The teacher is right there. You can ask her. And I'm like, I was like, I couldn't. Like, she did come to line up, but then she wasn't there are some kids that are more like, they know how to get a hold of you until you finish their homework. Like, there are some kids that are more like, they will cling to you. Like, they know how to cling to you to make sure you help them finish their
Oh.
homework, and then they let you go. But then some other kids, they'll be more like, I guess the vibes are kind of like, the teacher's busy, I guess I'll just continue, dilly-dallying, right? So I think after that, the parent, the girl, I think, ranted to the parent about how the teacher was ignoring her. But I think in general, yes, we have had to, she's among the kids that we had to sideline because we do have other kids to prioritize.
Yeah.
But it so happens that on that day, what happened was that she did come to my seat, but she didn't say anything. She was kind of just there in line, didn't say anything, and then she went back to her seat. But then she started talking about, kind of the general vibe she got at the place. But then my VP was like trying to, I guess, nitpick the details of that. It's like he thought she's talking about what happened today, but it's not. It's kind of just what happened overall, her experience in the daycare. So then this they looked at the CCTV footage. They wanted to make sure to tell the parent, I guess, that like wanted to disprove what the girl was saying. Yeah. Yeah, because they assume that she's talking about what happened that day, but she's talking about her general experience. Yeah. So then they were asking me, so did this girl approach you? What did she say to you? And I'm like, there's so many kids I talked to in a day, I don't even remember. They look at CCTV footage. I'm like, oh, here you are talking to her. What did you say to her? I'm like, I don't know. In that moment, I just kind of like, yeah. Couldn't pull it up on the spot. Yeah. I had already completely forgotten about it. Yeah.
Holy vey.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, that part of it was pretty intense. Yeah. In the end, she left, but it's okay. They kind of didn't want her anyway. She has always kind of considered her one of the more problem cases. Yeah. They're like, good riddance. Yeah. Yeah. The kind of reaction.
And that's kind of like, I don't know. I think it's like a self-filtering thing. I feel like if they ran it the way they felt like was like most comfortable, like overall, like you could just automatically filter out like the parents that give them so much stress and be like, sure, away with you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Make it easier for them, the teachers, the method they like to employ.
Yeah. And then now I also kind of figured out that all this work they give the students, the truth is, even though they market themselves as being education focused, I think all this extra work they give the students is kind of just like made up work to keep them occupied, so that to keep the chaos contained, like you can't have all the students not have anything to do. And then start playing in the living room because there's too many of them. And I found it funny. One instance I noticed my principal commenting. It was during the holidays, I think. So yeah, it's the holidays. They don't have homework to do. So they are all crowded in the living room area. And then she looked at that and she said, she said, okay, she was proposing that we bring them to the playground. And then she commented that this looks a little, what's the Mandarin word she used? I feel like the way she was phrasing it sounded as if it's like the kind of reaction, it's a bit of a disgust reaction towards, if you saw like an overcrowding of animals.
Like a stampede, kind of?
No,
Or-
like your it's a bit like a rat cage kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, like a rat cage or an infestation of bugs. I feel like the way she phrased it sounded like that kind of disgust reaction. There's too many children in this cramped space. We need to let them out. Yeah. That kind of reaction. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. You have a lot of good stories.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah, that part of it is the most interesting aspect of the job, I would say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you like it?
I like the people. The job, I'm like, the job is a means to an end. I like the people.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
A job is a job. Just need it to make money.
Yeah. The job.
So
I do not dream of labor. What's my dream job? I don't dream of labor. I'm sorry. Yeah.
well, I won't be lying if that wasn't my dream job either. So I want guys, I need my YouTube channel to get bigger. That's fine. It's fine.
No, it's still, I think, you. Yeah, it's just part. Yeah, it's part of the journey.
It's part of the journey.
Right. Yeah, it's part of the journey.
I was looking at the time frame, and it's been almost a year since I started it.
Mm-hmm. I think Orion Teraban said he did it for 2 years, if I'm not wrong. Like he talked about his methods,
Yeah.
how he was trying to, yeah, be consistent, putting out content,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's fine. I think as long as there are people who are watching it, I'll probably put out content. I just need a, I need a, I need people to need me to be able to feel that drive. So
What's the most interesting comment you got so far from a stranger on your videos?
it was hard to describe. It doesn't show up publicly, but it was
Oh,
it was by somebody called Some Words, and it was a bunch of emojis.
a bunch of emoji.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
So
it?
yeah,
Oh.
and they're supposed to have some meaning to it, but I don't know who Some Words is, and I don't know what the emojis mean. I have to see if I can find it.
Was it negative?
No. And not only that is like it doesn't show up as a comment, it just shows up as like an empty thing. So I have to
So it
like
just spam? Is spam?
probably spam. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that there was that. But I think Liquid's usually the only one that comments. So I think the favorite one of his is when he mentioned how it was in number 11 where he mentions how the TI Dom as a TI Dom it was frustrating for him to
Yeah.
realize that everything is basically emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think it's still too esoteric because even when I was trying to dabble in streaming, right, I say a lot of shit on stream. I yap a lot.
yeah.
And all people give me yikes. You know, when I'm talking about something controversial, yikes. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Yikes. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't ever get any interesting feedback. You know.
So this is so interesting.
Yeah.
Observer, it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's not like I have a successful YouTube channel of my own, but I'm just, and I don't know. This is, I've been looking, I've been watching, and I've noticed that the people that the like Till Swan or Leo Gura or even Ken Wilber or anybody who's like into this levels of awareness or enlightenment or spirituality kind of thing, it's like invariably at some point there has to be some, or home math even, like there has to be some kind of latch for people to start climbing the ladder. Like it has to be like in dating or economic or like
Mm-hmm.
financial or or philosophical. Like they have to like take their tendrils, like drop them down to where people aren't going to be as inclined to be like yikes, right? And then they can
Mm-hmm.
start climbing, and you got to kind of like learn to like, meet them where they're at. But it's like, and it's like for your, it's like, it's like for you and me, it's like because we both very abstract, low SE, right? It's going to be difficult to be like to observe like IRL, like real time, like where someone is out, like what they're looking for, and like give them like a good presentation. So like for us, it's like I think the best strategy is to like spam things that we are just genuinely interested in, right?
Yeah.
Like just be like, hey, look, we're gonna go through this book anyways. We're
Right.
going to record anyways. Like you're gonna talk about colors anyways, and then just keep uploading, keep spamming, just keep doing things that
Mm-hmm.
naturally appeal, but then also be aware of, it's like for like be aware of what people respond like positively to, not only the content but then the delivery. It's like
Yeah.
not only what you say, what you're saying, but then how you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't
How
be
do you
afraid
how do you
to steal,
breadcrumb them effectively?
yeah, and don't be afraid to steal methodologies,
Yeah.
from to copy spam methodologies from people who have done the same thing, successfully.
Yeah. 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 And that's I feel like that's something I need to be aware of, or I understand that. But I think the other thing I'm trying to balance is I work a full-time job, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so it's like, and I'm also trying not to like burn myself out by
Yeah.
turning YouTube into a full-time job unless it happens to catch. So
Yeah.
it's like, I guess a part of me is like, if I really wanted to go into ADHD mode and hyper focus into it, I probably could try if I wanted to, but I'm trying not to kill myself like I used to. So
Yeah.
that's kind of another wrench into it. So
Like they say in construction, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
yeah.
So
So
it's like haste and waste and all that jazz.
yeah. But I think my hope is, and you know, maybe it'll never happen, but for at least people who catch on to it, it's kind of why I've kind of kept the same thumbnails.
Yeah.
Is it's kind of like a marker of being like, this is the channel, this is what I'm
Yeah.
doing, right? So like I'm trying not to be, I'm instead of being like super outgoing like every thumbnail, I'm trying to kind of almost make like a brand so that
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
recognize like, oh, that's his channel.
Mhm.
But I think my hope is that eventually there's enough content in there that if somebody happens to decide to watch all of it, they'll be able to be like, oh, I can finally see like all the connections that he's making towards what the concept of the self is. And then if they do that, then they'll be able to actually see all the pieces that like they're if they actually see everything, it should actually help them increase their awareness just by watching all of it because of how many pieces there are. Which is kind of why I've labeled the flow of thoughts and feelings the way that it is right now, right? That I haven't tried to separate them. That I split them into parts so that people see, like, yeah, it's up to 13 right now, but it's still connected. It's still part of a series because it's all of this is all connected. And so, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's something that I'm trying to observe, I guess, while I'm making it. But it's something that I'm also not sure how to go about doing with my current schedule, I guess. So, and I don't know. What am I thinking about?
Then about the food industry, have you done that yet?
I think I'm going to actually make that one the next video,
Okay.
officially and formally. I'm not going to lie. So, did you hear about the worker burning the warehouse down in
No.
Ontario, Canada?
Ah, yes, I did.
Oh.
Yeah. So, in Ontario, a guy got fed up and he burnt down an entire warehouse of Scott toilet paper and paper
Oh.
towels. And he filmed
Yeah.
himself doing it and he yelled,
Oh.
all you had to do was pay us a living wage. All you had to do was
Yeah.
pay us enough to live. And he just filmed
Yeah.
himself burning it down. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I should probably make that video.
Yeah, you. I
Because
think it will
it's,
get a lot of views.
yeah, yeah.
There,
So
there are
that
Yeah.
there are a lot of
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
It's time to drama farm a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Drama
to say.
farm.
So that will be my next one. And the thing is, that one might take a little bit more time. I can see it being like a half-hour long video. So, just so you're aware. But, and that also kind of feeds into a lot of the, you know how I mentioned how,
Yeah.
like, I guess in general, the death of society. I'm not sure if you've heard it, Z, but I've talked with Liquid about it. But
Uh-huh.
essentially, systems like everything has been propagandized, right? To the point where they try to, and everyone wants to be happy. Everyone is kind of okay with it. Everyone kind of recognizes it. But none of that will matter if people don't have their basic necessities to live. So,
Yeah.
and so I'm just this kind of ties into that because the food industry is kind of, it's perceived as basically the bottom of the food chain when it comes to work. So
Okay.
basically everything when it comes to about like to the idea of not having the basic necessities to live,
Yeah.
the food industry workers feel that impact first. So because like for example, like I've worked 70-hour weeks. I mentioned that before, but I also did that without health benefits or without PTO, right? Doing that on survival, right? So,
Right.
and me, I'm a little sturdier. I was very more ambitious, more driven.
Yeah.
Other people I know aren't, and they don't have as strong a moral code, right? So,
Right.
when education dips, when people get desperate, they do desperate things. And
Yep.
the food industry, I don't think it's going to be like the starting point, but a lot of the cracks in the system I've been recognizing for a long time because I was in the food industry and because I lived in it, you know, and had to deal with a lot of it. I mean, it sucks when you have to work 2 jobs, 70 hours a week. You have a migraine that won't go away. You're dead
Yeah. Yeah.
tired. You feel like throwing up, and then you still have
Yeah.
to go to work
Yeah.
2 jobs because you can't afford to live, right?
Right.
So, and the thing is, I don't think that's necessarily just an effect here. I think that's an effect everywhere. That I just right everywhere. I think the food industry is always seen as kind of the bottom of the totem pole. There's only one industry lower, and that I think is technically construction.
Oh.
So, and that's only because they prioritize the health and safety of how food is prepared.
Yeah.
Because and food is needed to be eaten every day, so there's a little bit of there's a little bit of precision and exactness that you need to
Yeah.
have. Not to say that you don't need that in construction, but
I
it's easier to
I
train
think we did,
construction.
but I guess it's been kind of hashed out long time ago that the template is pretty solid now, so people don't really think too much about it.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it might be like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that what I'm saying is like construction is slightly worse, not like slightly lower. And worse is the wrong one, but it's just a
They
perception.
they are they are cutting corners in construction right now. Like they are making houses. America already kind of has a reputation for having the thin drywall kind of
Yeah.
template,
Yeah.
like level 5 min max
Mm-hmm.
corporate build to spam the houses
Yeah.
everywhere. And so what they've been doing, like somebody showed an example of some new construction. New, there's lots of videos right now where you can find the new construction in the U.S. where they'll be trying to sell like $1 million homes, and they don't even put like real. So like they'll put bricks on on a house, but right behind those bricks, they no longer have like plywood like they used to
Yeah.
back even like 20 years ago. They'll use this stuff. I forget what it's called. We have some that we use as a vapor barrier on some of our sheds out here.
Yeah.
It's this weird kind of like specialized. It's technically cardboard. It's really tough. It's this, that, and the other, but it's technically
Mm-hmm.
cardboard. So like right behind the bricks, they'll literally just have like cardboard, and if you take, like, I could take this knife right here and punch through it. Like, I can cut it with this knife, right? And so, but they used to have plywood. They used to have plywood behind it. But in order to cut costs, they went from like an inch plywood to like
Yeah.
3/4 inch plywood to like half-inch plywood
Yeah.
to like 1/8 inch plywood, which is basically like wainscot, to this cardboard stuff, right? And then they'll still make it look really nice on the surface, and they'll use a
Oh,
solid surface instead of granite. They'll use they'll cut corners like wherever they can. They'll try to dilute the concrete so they can get the
yeah.
biggest bang of buck out of their concrete. They'll do this. They'll paint over stuff. They'll use whatever, but they'll make it big and they'll make it look nice on the surface and everything. And then they'll try to charge people like $1,000,000. And then people will go in and they'll get the inspectors, and the inspectors will tap on stuff, and stuff will start cracking and painting. And they'll look at technically it's up to code, but it's up to code because a lot of the lobbyists who a lot of the big huge corporation construction companies have
Yeah.
enough pull where they can lobby. They'll even have some of their own people like in like running for like political positions to where they can like sign off on it, and they
Yeah.
can give their competitors a hard time, right? And so it's legal, but it's legal because somebody paid for it to be legal, and the
Yeah.
person who paid for it to be legal is the people who are doing the construction. And so it's
Yeah.
technically whatever. And then the inspector will come in, and he'll tap on all the stuff that's got problems with it. And so people are complaining. They're like, not only is it hard for us to get a house, but then when we finally do get one, it's made out of plastic.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that most of the people complaining about that, it's like those houses are out of their price range in the first place. It's like you can find a better quality built house that is smaller in your price range and not have to contend with the new construction. But they are cutting serious corners in construction wherever they can right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and the reason the quality is lower than it is in food is because if you drop the quality in food too much, people get sick immediately.
Yeah.
If you drop the quality in housing a little bit, it might take 10 years instead of 40 years for your house to fall apart, but you're still living in it. You paid for it, and now it's technically legal because the guy is running a racket right inside the corporation. And it's like if your house has mold and it starts falling apart, you can't really sue them the same way you can if you get sick overnight from eating a bad pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the consequences of it that shifted quite a
Yeah.
bit. And
Yeah, I'm always surprised with how thin the walls seem in America. Because mine is concrete. I'm
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
can punch through your walls. How did you not break your fist doing that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, you mentioned cheating in the construction industry. The food industry cheats a lot too. It's just the cheating is
Yeah.
is a little different. So they'll go from good quality ingredients to lower quality ingredients or substitutes. So like there's an ice cream that instead of having full cream, I think it's Breyers. They're no longer considered ice cream anymore, but an ice cream flavored product because they've taken so much of the cream out. Not to say that the stuff isn't edible, but it's technically not ice cream anymore. Or the like every restaurant, unless you prioritize it, is going to be like crazy dirty in the back somehow.
Yeah.
Like the amount of cleaning that the restaurant requires is insane for the people who are hired to do it and the pay. Yeah. So there's always something that's always behind somewhere. There's probably mold somewhere,
Yeah.
And things are becoming more frozen because if you can mass produce, so the reason why frozen is more important is because if things are frozen, it creates consistency, so there's less waste. And also you can mass produce it. So that's less time and labor. And so that drops costs in two ways. But what that does is that decreases the flavor profile. But if people are just going to the restaurant just for a quick bite anyway, you don't care about the flavor profile. So it's just And that's actually another thing is people are becoming desensitized to these kinds of things or these systems. People aren't caring that the things are dropping in quality, right? They're just being like, hey, this thing is happening. And the general thing is like, yeah, this thing is happening. Okay. Like they just keep living the same way that they're living,
Yeah.
right? That's kind
Yeah.
of the thing is just people are living in the lowering of quality of everything. So
Mm.
like DoorDash, you'd expect DoorDash to be a plus. It's not. People DoorDash because of convenience, not because of quality. And so when people DoorDash, they're going to get the less quality food. So, and not only that, it's interesting as well is that your portion sizes will actually be lower in DoorDash because
Oh.
what happens is that they try to be more accurate on they try to be more accurate. Like if you're going to a fast casual restaurant,
Mm.
or like where they scoop stuff, they try to be more accurate and precise if it's being delivered. If it's
Mm.
in the store and people are watching, they'll usually give you like a bigger scoop, a bigger spoonful to make you happy. So
Mm.
DoorDash proportions, you're actually technically getting less food.
Yeah.
So big, and you're being paid twice as much. Um, and then not only that is just like DoorDash has also led to the increase of prices as well because companies aren't allowed to set higher prices technically, but they can still set higher prices in other ways. So whenever you do a DoorDash order or a delivery order, that company takes a portion of that,
Mm.
takes a chunk of that order, right, to help pay for for the delivery. So, you know, instead of like automatically, setting prices higher specifically for DoorDash, well, they'll just set prices higher for everything, right? And this also includes apps, right? Every free meal that you are able to get off of an app, that has to be
Yeah.
paid for somehow, right? So, well,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
paid for in higher prices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and again, these are all little things, all that people don't see add up to the general thing. And
Yeah.
if you go on YouTube, I've watched a couple videos. Some people will be like, "Oh, it's because of rent. Oh, it's because of Cisco." I watched a video on Cisco. It's because of the quality of ingredients. Like, yeah, those are part of it, but it's not
Mm.
the big. I don't think that's necessarily the big thing. It's just kind of like just a general consensus of everyone being okay with mediocrity, you know. So, and the thing is, what
You're
do you
saying
do?
it's going to be a while before we end up with another 300-year cathedral built anywhere with top tier craftsmanship and stained glass windows and fluted ceilings,
Yeah.
gargoyles on the top,
Yeah,
nice pillars.
the there's something I've mentioned is that like it's better to believe in something than not. It's those kind of cathedrals that was one of the points, right? People didn't build crazy monuments because of logic. They built those
Yeah.
crazy monuments because of emotions, because of a belief in a higher power of some sort,
Mm.
right? So we're we're hitting a weird point in history where like because people are starting to care less, they're also starting to believe less, and that's being reflected in the fact that now people are starting to do less and feel less. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't. And again, these are we go back to the original discussion. When it comes to technocracy, right? People
Mm.
are if people are being okay with mediocrity, if people are okay with just being average, if people are okay with the norm and the status quo, what does it matter if an ultra high tech billionaire decides to create a surveillance state? If you're okay with where you're at, does it matter if he's watching everything that you do? Right? If your worldview is not going to change because he's already able to do whatever he wants and you're technically already doing whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. Is the system flawed? It's only flawed. The only problem is that if there is an individual who does want to change the status quo or does get the idea that maybe this isn't good or gets the idea of, hey, maybe we all can be ultra billionaires somehow, he has no movement and his movement can be very easily stifled. So again, this death of the food industry, a pattern of what I see the future to become. So
I think like from like the sea of homogeneity of mediocrity, it's like the moment you get movement, you get contrast. You get contrast and compare. It's like,
yeah,
oh, and then your emotions can latch on. It's like I like more of this and less of this, and more of this and less. And I do think that whatever form the governments begin to take will last about 200 or 300 years. So that's kind of the standard recently, like 200 or 300 years for
yeah,
some kind of program script to run its course and then wear out and then run its course and wear. So it'll take a while, right? But then I think like patterns will form and people will be like, oh, more of this kind of life, less of this kind, more of this kind of quality, less of this kind, more, less, and it'll kind of, kind of hopefully like flow itself
Uh,
out through the course of time.
com-
yeah. Somehow I feel like in Malaysia we are a lot of, I guess what I observed about the Chinese I grew up with, a lot of them are like, uh, should I say they're okay with mediocrity? I feel like for now, I feel like my culture is kind of safe from that because a lot of them are kind of like, why is this so expensive? I could make this myself. Well, I'd rather make this myself than pay you money for mediocre food. I'm gonna make this myself.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of see a lot of that here. Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I think the food, I don't know, I think the diaspora, a lot of them tend to break. I don't know, is it because they grew up, having that really valuing the experience of food, that a lot of them break into the food industry and just start their own small business, their own restaurants.
It's
Yeah,
hard to
nah,
say. I mean, I've
I'm kind
I've
of wondering
wanted
about
to.
that now.
I wanted to own my. I guess I would say I used to want to own my restaurant. Whether I actually
Yeah,
get to it or not, probably not. I've had too much
yeah,
burnout with it. Um, but I know for me is always just the idea of like some of it is just kind of helping people, being
yeah,
satisfied with being satisfied with the fact that other people are happy with the thing that you make. I guess,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Mm.
So it's kind of in a way it's as if it's a form of artistry. So, and I
Mm.
think that's why people love food and gravitate food is that food is technically a form of art, right? If you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so if you open up a restaurant, it's technically part of who you are,
yeah.
and it's kind of how you make
I,
it is
I,
your identity.
yeah.
So,
I want to say I used to be okay with mediocrity until I learned to cook. Then I'm like, whoa, this is kind of like chemistry,
yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of
No,
fun.
Draco, it's been good seeing you.
It was
Okay,
good seeing you,
bye,
Draco,
Draco.
and thanks for popping in. I hope it
Take
was
care.
meaningful.
Hearts, hearts. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Draco.
Uh,
I'm gonna hop
yeah.
off in 6 minutes myself.
Okay.
I'll,
Yeah, it's late
yeah,
for you guys.
I might hop off as well.
Yeah, and I'm hungry. Eat.
I'm hungry too, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
sleep so I can wake up.
Yeah.
But before we do that, so
Yeah.
I wanted to point this out to you, observer.
Yeah.
And this here is a woman that I met while I was collecting data. I do need to go for another huge round of personality color collection data,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a lady I met maybe around this time last year, and she is working on a she's an older INFJ who has an unusual take on personality models.
Yeah.
She's writing a book on it, and she's going to incorporate the data that we've collected on colors. She says she's already incorporated some of that data into her book. I
Really?
don't know if her book will ever amount to anything, but that's what she's done. And here's a screenshot of that
Oh, I was
of that
wondering
discussion.
what that
So
was.
I bought her book. It's on the way. It'll be here by the end of the week and Sunday or so, and then I will start reading it. See what's about.
Okay. Yeah. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. And maybe I'll try it out too. I'll think on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also interested. I think it would be so interesting if like some student ever started going through John Gage's book and then
Yeah.
was like, surely there has to be something on YouTube about this, and then he widens up with us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisens up
talking about it.
and then sees the whole color spectrum.
Yeah.
Hey, what color combination should I do next? If you guys are interested.
Uh, color combination.
Yeah. Just two right now. We can get into three later, but
What color combination? Red and gold? Red and yellow?
you want red and yellow?
Red and yellow, Chinese.
Yeah, very Chinese coded.
Okay, I'll do red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
That's a weird combination. That's fine.
It's
All-
everywhere.
I think
Chinese New Year.
It's funny. I say that's a weird combination, but then I'm like almost all the combinations I say are weird combinations because they do weird things. So I say that too often.
It's uncommon in the West. Uncommon? Is it uncommon?
It's uncommon
It
in
is
the
a
West.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow in general is uncommon. Is an uncommon
Yeah.
favorite. So, but if you want a quick snapshot, red. So red is the sense of control, and yellow is the sense of happiness.
Yeah. I mean, you see the China flag. I mean, mostly red and then yellow, a bit of yellow.
Yeah.
And then the home state my parents came from, the Kedah, which is called Kedah. Their flag is also red and yellow.
Yeah.
In a way that's similar, very similar to the China flag.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like red gold / yellow is a very good representation of like Chinese values in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Very. So. It's a very fight for what you believe in, but only in what I believe in.
Yeah.
So.
Because our belief is the best. I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll do red and yellow next. So, it's a actually overall a toxic combination, but that's because yellow.
We're a toxic combination. I feel so validated right now.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly because yellow tends to make things toxic just because of the
Yeah.
nature of what yellow does. So yellow is very SE coded. You
Yeah,
see the thing, you do the thing, you want it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Like two colors. It's like double reactive. Double. Should I use reactive? The word double. Kind of a double impulsivity
yeah, that works.
almost. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like a double
Yeah.
impulsivity.
Double
Mm,
impulsivity. So
almost.
I guess I'll put my vote in for blue and pink.
blue and
Blue
Oh,
and
pink.
pink.
There we go. Blue and pink is not a toxic combination, but they do weird things.
mm,
Like I said, all of them do weird things. But
That's
uh
because life is autistic and death is schizo, and life is weird. And so that's just that.
there you go. There you go.
mm.
Oh,
Okay, good night, you guys.
good night.
Sleep
Good night.
well.
Sleep
Good
well.
night, you two. It's been a blast as
Uh,
always. The server, do you know if you'll be available next Thursday or not?
I should be available next week. Yep.
Should be available next Thursday. Then Chapter 8 next
yeah.
Thursday.
I'll just show up again when I get a day off.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
we'd
nice
love to
Yeah,
have
having
it
you.
you.
was nice. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice being back.
Yeah, it was fantastic,
Okay,
Z.
take
Sounds good.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.